Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. As you guys can see, behind me is the RS3. I made actually a couple videos about this car already, but today I actually hit about 6,000 kilometers already, and I own this car about, I don't even know when, for about 5 months or so now. So I kind of want to give you guys a little kind of just overall review, the things that I like, you know, the why I chose this car and all that stuff. So I'll go through kind of briefly about all the modifications I have done so far. But if you guys are interested in, for example, the exhaust, the wheels, the suspension, all that stuff, I'll link all the separate videos in the description box below, so you guys can go check it out. I'm not gonna go super in detail about each mod, more so just kind of overall how I like the car and why I chose this car, and if I'm keeping this car long term. But before you guys continue to watch this video, I want to say, if you guys are looking for a kind of a brochure, you know, kind of salesman car review, you know, please go watch someone else's video. This is more just from my perspective and kind of a true owner's perspective. So I'm not going to go into exactly the number of torque, the horsepower, or package, and the price and all that stuff. So this is more so just kind of my experience. So let's jump into the video right now. Behind me is a 2018 Audi RS3. I'll go from like the exterior and I'll walk to the back and then I'll do more of an interior with the tech stuff review, and then we'll jump in the car and then give you guys kind of, you know, how I like it and how this car handles. So I guess the main reason why I chose this car is because one of the reasons for the looks. When I first got this car, I was always afraid that it's going to be a little bit too small. Coming from a S4, obviously it's bigger than this, but still not, I guess, a big sedan compared to the A6 or the A8. After driving for about 4 or 5 months, about 6,000 kilometers or so, I actually think this is the perfect size sedan. This is the perfect size in terms of if you want a true, I guess, purist car to drive. This car, I feel so confident in terms of carving back roads and just pushing the car to the limit. Comparing to even the S4 or recently I drove an RS5 and, you know, all that stuff. Those cars, it seems just really big to me right now. So this size, I think, is comparable to, let's say, the BMW M2 and stuff like that. I think it's the perfect size. So if you guys are looking for a car that you don't really carry a lot of passengers or a lot of stuff, you kind of just want to drive around and have fun, I think this is the perfect size for you. If you are looking to carry, you know, passengers, or you carry a lot of cargoes day to day, then I think this might be a little bit too small, just because the back seat, you know, I'm 5'9" and I'm a regular sized dude, but, you know, I wouldn't want to sit in the back for more than 30 minutes on a road trip, let's just say that. So I love the aggressive look of the car. This is the facelift version, obviously, so you got the updated lights, the grille, and then the bumpers, and it just looks very, very aggressive. I know the new 2022 RS3 is out and it looks even better, but, you know, I'm happy with what I got right now. And then also you got the wide, I guess, the flared arches in the front. I think just overall the car just looks very, very aggressive, and obviously the color is Nardo gray from factory. If you guys watched my previous S4 video, I tried to wrap it the same color, but this is a true, I guess, factory Nardo gray. So I mean, I just love the car. It looks aggressive, it looks mean. So the car comes with the 19-inch, I guess, what is it called? The Sport package. So it comes with the 19-inch rotor wheels, which I actually love them, and I still have them at home. I'm probably going to throw some winter rubbers on there and use in the winter. But these are actually the 034 Motorsport forged wheels. So these are 18 by 9.3, and I believe it's offset like a 42 or 43. So it's a very odd size, but it's actually made for this car and the TTRS. If you guys are interested in these wheels, you can watch, I guess, a separate video, me talking about these wheels and putting them on, and give you guys kind of more, I guess, spec wise. But yeah, these are 034. I went into 18 just because I want a little bit thicker, I guess, tire and rubber look. I think that's a really good look, and obviously, you know, the huge calipers, I just love it. It looks very, very aggressive, and I think 18 is it's a good look. These are 245 40 18, so the sidewall is a little bit thicker than stock. Yeah, I mean, so far I'm rocking with them right now. I only have them for about 2 months. I'm happy with it. Maybe next year I'll do like a BC Forge. I'll go up to 19s. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, oh, also another thing, these come in a stock kind of a, they call it the, what is it, Arctic gray. So it's like a raw metal finish. I think it looks like too bland in terms of pairing up with the Nardo gray. So I powder coated them black. So these are kind of satin black. Yeah, I mean, I'm very, very happy with it. All right, so moving to the back of the car, I think this is, I guess, one of my favorite, I guess, section. I just love the back end of the car. So actually you guys can see the wheels, the fitment is spot on. This car is lowered on H&R sport springs. I made a separate video, so if you guys want to go check that out, click below. But you know, at first I thought the springs are meh. The ride quality is okay. I would like the fitment to be a little bit better, but I think after driving about a month or two and after getting alignment done, I think the fitment is actually like very, very on point. So I'm very, very happy with it. Moving to the back, as I said, the only thing I have done so far is putting the carbon spoiler. I got this from Honeycomb Motorsport, so I'll put all the product, I guess, link if I can find one down below, so you guys can check it out. But yeah, I'm very, very happy with the spoiler. I love the batch chrome. I think it's a good look for now, but we'll see. Maybe down the road I want to change it. And obviously you have the famous RS exhaust with the big oval tips. The exhaust system is not stock, so right now I'm running a CTS callus downpipe and then the AWE SwitchPath exhaust system. So it's very loud. I'll give you guys a listen right now. Let's jump into the heart and the soul of the car, which is, I guess, another main reason why I got the car. So if you guys don't know, this is the 2.5 5-cylinder engine. It's only available in the RS3 and the TTRS platform, which is very special. If you guys don't know, so Audi a long time ago has a rally car and it has the 5-cylinder, and they kind of took it away. But they brought back this engine, this platform in the RS3 and TTRS. So I had to, you know, as soon as I heard it, and it's so easy to make power, I said, you know what, I got to get this car. So you know, the engine bay, it's pretty much stock right now. You have obviously the motor, the intake. So right now I have, as I said, a CTS callus downpipe, and then I have a custom tune from Eurocharge Canada. It's a stage 1 callus file. So obviously I'm planning to do a aftermarket intake and, you know, a turbo inlet and intercooler, all that stuff, but it will come. I'm planning to take this car slow, build it slowly, exactly the way I want it, and kind of you know, enjoy it as I go. I guess, you know, the engine bay is super easy to work on. It's very clean. It's nothing is cramped. You got lots of space, and it's just very, very pretty to look at. So I mean, this is, you know, I think if you ask every RS3 or TTRS owner, they'll tell you the engine and the transmission is one of the main reason, or if not the only reason, why they got this car. It's just a joy to drive, and it's joy to make power. You don't have to spend a lot of money. If you do want to spend a lot of money, then this car is crazy. You can make up to like 800 to the wheel. So let's jump in the car, and then I'll give you guys a little interior in terms of how I like it, the space, and all that stuff. So we're in the car. I can finally take my sunglasses off. It was so bright outside, so I feel like a douche wearing the sunglasses in a video, but I gotta do what I gotta do. I don't want to look like this the whole time. Coming from a 2015 Audi S4, it was a good interior for that time, and obviously this is a 2018 car. It has the digital dash, it has the Apple CarPlay, everything I didn't have before. So I was quite intrigued when I first got in this car, and after driving about, you know, as I said, 5 months or so and 6,000 kilometers, I really, really enjoy this interior. There's nothing fancy about it. It's not like a Mercedes C63 or like an E-Series where you have the whole kind of dash. Even, you know, I know it's not in a different price range, but even for the Audi S8 or the S6, it's still kind of an Audi oriented interior, if you guys know what I mean. There's nothing fancy, but everything, it's in a right place. Everything is very easy to use. For example, let's jump into the steering wheel and kind of the digital display. So in front, you have, I guess, two different views. You have the classic view and you have the normal view. The classic view is basically you have your big ol' map or whatever info you want to display in the middle, and then two little RPM and obviously your speed on the side, and then obviously you have a, I guess I call it a sport mode, which is kind of the RPM range in the middle with the speed kind of in the middle with just the number. There's no kind of I guess the band or like a speedometer in the middle. You look at the whole RPM range and then the red line and then the needle, but your speed is in, I guess, numbers in the middle. And on the both side, you can actually customize it. So what I usually do is left side, if I'm just doing daily commute and stuff, I do the trip computer, so I can see how much the gas consumption is per trip. I can see what's a short trip, the time, you know, I've been driving, the distance, all of that stuff. And then if you scroll down, you can see the longer trip, I guess, is whenever the car it's made, or whenever, you know, the owner swapped, basically. So those the information I like to keep. If I'm driving back rows, or I kind of want to know more info about the power and stuff, I'll put it into sport display, which is your G meter. It's actually very, very cool. It tracks it live, so you can see exactly how many I guess G forces you're pulling when you're accelerating, braking, cornering and stuff. This is very good when you're on track, and then once you actually come to a stop, it will actually kind of give you a summary in terms of short period that you drove, exactly how many, what's a summary, I guess, in terms of the total G-force that you pulled per side. So you obviously have the forward, backwards, and left and right. So those are the features that I really like. Now let's focus on the center console. First of all, let's go to the screen. So the screen, it works. It's really not my favorite because it's just a flat screen, kind of sticks up, so it doesn't really blend in with the whole line of the dashboard, but you know, it is what it is. I'm very, very happy that 2018 model, you can actually turn the screen off or retract the screen in. I believe at 2019 or up, because of the safety regulation or something, you actually can't fold down the screen. I think overall the interior and the tech of this car is actually very good. And I think if you're a minimalist, you will like it a lot, just because I've said so many times, it works, it looks great, there's nothing fancy, there's no RGB lights like the Mercedes or the new BMW. There's no you know, fancy stuff here and there. There's no screen, there's no you know, touch screen and all that stuff, but everything kind of is very driver focused, driver oriented, and it just works. So it's very, very good in terms of you're a purist, I guess, driver, or you want to enjoy the car. Everything is solid, steering wheel is solid, there's no squeaks, there's no clunking. It's leather, and then Alcantara on the door. You have the carbon fiber bits based on, I guess, whatever package you select, and then, you know, I think everything just works very, very solid. The seats are very, very comfortable. It's manual adjustment, so you can go back and forth, and then you have your I guess 5-way control in terms of height. Apparently they said it's too heavy to put an electric motor in there, so they do it mechanically. I guess this is kind of my my personal review of the interior. You know, now we've gone through the exterior, the interior, and you know, I think there's only one thing left to do. Let's get driving. So I think this is the part where most people are excited about, which is actually my driving experience and how I you know, how I enjoyed this car on the weekend. So I guess I just can't get over the exhaust. It just sounds so good. So I guess we'll start with a little bit info about the car. So this is obviously a RS3 2.5 liter 5-cylinder turbocharged engine, single turbo. So it comes from factory, 400 horsepower. So it's already a very quick car, since, you know, it's so little, I guess, in a grand scheme. But yeah, I mean, I love it. The transmission, it's so good from the factory. I do have a stage 1 tune from Eurocharge Canada, but yeah, I mean, you know, remembering back, I think I drove this car for about a week and a half stock. it's pretty impressive from the factory. It's quick, it's responsive, the DSG shifts like crazy, power is actually very, very good from the factory. You will be scared if you haven't really driven a car like this. Even from the factory, it's good. But I mean, yeah, this car is fun. It's a lot of fun. So right now, I think with the catalyst downpipe, the full exhaust, and the tune on a 93 octane, sometimes I do a little E30 blend. I'm pushing about 470, 480 to the wheel. So it's definitely no joke in terms of power. If you're just doing weekend driving, back road driving, I think this is more than enough, to be honest. But if you're pushing for that drag strip and drag time, obviously you can do hybrid turbo and whatever you gotta do. But I mean, this car is fun. I enjoy it a lot. There is a good amount of lag because it's a single turbo and it's a big single turbo setup. It's a little bit of a lag. For example, I don't think, at least I don't feel the power comes on full after 4,000. So anything before that is kind of like boost, it's building, and then it kicks in. It's fun. I think I don't really mind the turbo lag. I thought I would, but it's fun. It's very, very fun. It's unpredictable in a way that if you haven't been in this car, you don't really know when the power will kick on. Just because, for example, like, and then go. Man, it's just it holds the power through each gear. It shifts so quick. I mean, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. Ah, man. Little cornering action. Exiting corner. Man. This is fun. This is a lot of fun. And then obviously the exhaust crackle. You guys, obviously the exhaust crackle comes a little bit from the factory, but if you guys don't like it, you don't have to enable it in your tune. I don't really mind it. I like it. It's not too crazy. It's not popping all the time, so I don't really mind it that much. So I set it. I basically enabled it. Told the tuner that, hey, I want a little bit pops. So that's what we did. But yeah, this car is fun. It's practical. Let's put in comfort mode. Right now it's in dynamic, obviously. We're in comfort. Kind of everything kind of tones it down. It shifts a lot earlier. Steering wheel becomes a lot more lighter, and you're comfortable. You're in a cruiser. So if you're using this car as a daily or even on weekends, you can take this car easily to on a road trip and not feel uncomfortable. You can put in comfort mode on the highway. It has the adaptive cruise control, so it kind of foresees what's in front of you, will brake and accelerate based on the speed the car in front of you. And also it has the active lane control, so you don't really have to hold the steering wheel for 30 seconds and then you have to put your hands on, kind of adjust it. Just a safety feature, but I don't really use that a lot. But yeah, it's a good feature to have if you're taking this car on a road trip. And as you guys can see, we were just over a big bump. Car is on the H&R Sport Spring, so it's a little bit stiffer, but nothing too crazy, I don't think. Everything still feels nice. Obviously, you want a sportier look and a sportier feel, but there's nothing too drastic, and I wouldn't feel, and I wouldn't say I feel uncomfortable or the car is uncomfortable after the springs. But let's put into dynamic mode again. Immediately it kicks up a gear. It shifts just crisp. This transmission system is just great. I mean, I'm trying to take it easy over these bumps because I know the camera is shaking, but downshift one gear and we're off. Like, wow, it's fun. it's just so much car for the price. I know these things aren't cheap right now, especially a lot of people want them, so their market value is actually quite high for what it is. But yeah, I mean, even just comparing to you know, MSRP, it's a lot of car for the price. You know, especially if you're into modifying the car, you know, you can put not so much money in a grand scheme of per se, but you get a lot more power. You know, you can put 10-15 grand into rebuilding the engine if you want to go that route, and you get like 700 to the wheel. Like, that's insane. You run like 10 seconds in a quarter mile. That's just mind-blowing to me. If you don't want to obviously do the turbo upgrade, you can do simple stage 2. Probably somewhere costs you about 4 or 5 grand, and you're running 10s as well, high 10s. And I mean, it's just great. The car is great. It's reliable. Obviously, I haven't been driving this car that much, so I can't really tell you guys exactly how it'll hold up in the future, but so far I've never had an issue with it. I've done a oil change and a DSG fluid change because it was around 68,000 kilometers when I got it, and I doubt the owner did it right before he sold the car, so I did it anyways, and I really didn't notice anything different in terms of shifting. I think the DSG the transmission was still holding up very, very well, but you know, out of cautious, I did the service, and that's all I've done so far. I mean, wow. Corner coming up. And how the car handles on corners, especially with power pushing through each corner, and kind of, I mean, the car just, yeah, it just, you know, when a feeling when you drive a car and it kind of everything just clicks that box, kind of you can almost anticipate and kind of move the car like it's an extension of your body. That's, I think, the pinnacle of driving a very nicely dialed in car. Obviously, I think this car still needs a little bit more work. For example, coilovers, I think it would fix some of the things in terms of suspension I don't really like right now, but I mean, this is crazy. This is great. I think everyone will love this car, especially you're into a turbocharged car rather than a supercharged car. And you know, if you're a Audi guy and you want to get into a smaller, kind of a sportier Audi, this is a great option. I can't recommend this car or the TTRS enough. I mean, this is great. This is great. I love this car. I drive this car every day, and you know, I love it more and more every day. So hope you guys enjoyed that video. Honestly, it's just my personal kind of experience driving and living with this car. You know, I absolutely love it. I love this car more and more every day. So I said, yeah, if you guys are looking for kind of a compact Audi sedan, but you know, it's easy to make power and it's fun to drive, and you don't really mind the smaller size, honestly, man, this is the way to go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my channel for more content. There's so much content coming. There's so much stuff I want to do to the car. It will come soon. So yeah, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.